All right, so we are back. The Weight Concept presented by The Ring. And today, Tyson Fury is back in the sport of boxing, and apparently he wants to fight Oleksandr Usyk, and he's not the only one that wants that. In fact, the man himself, H.E. Turki Al-Sheikh, is hinting that he potentially wants that, and I got a different idea. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. As of, this was July 2nd, a couple days ago, by the way, happy 4th of July to all my Americans out there, because I do think this is the greatest country on earth, and yeah, happy birthday, America. But 2 days ago, this report came out from The Ring magazine, says Tyson Fury is set to come out of retirement and return to boxing in 2026. Turki Al-Sheikh has confirmed. Before we go into what Turki said, is anybody surprised by this? The answer is no. Everybody knows that Tyson Fury probably wasn't retired when he did, and that he's done this before, retired for a bit, come out of retirement, made people think he was done with the sport, then blatantly tells people that he can't be done with the sport, that he's addicted to boxing, that he trains every day, that he's sparring 3 times a week without fighting. This guy loves this sport. He's still relatively young, and he's in the heavyweight division, where careers last longer than most sitcoms on American television. Yes, I'm looking at you, Grey's Anatomy. It's time to hang it the f*** up. But the point is, Tyson Fury is back. And according to H.E., and as we'll see in a second, according to Tyson Fury, he wants the Usyk trilogy. And it's not just Tyson that wants the Usyk trilogy. It's Turki Al-Sheikh, like he said, quote, I talked with him, and I have his word to have him in Riyadh season in 2026. We have a rabbit to hunt. And for those that know, Tyson Fury has referred to Oleksandr Usyk as the rabbit. And funny enough, Usyk has kind of embraced the rabbit with the rabbit's foot and the whole thing, kind of embracing Tyson Fury, trying to make fun of him, but he kind of flipped it on him, and also flipped 2 fights on Tyson Fury, going 2-0 against the Gypsy King. So I don't know if there's much of a need for a third fight other than, you know, the potential eyeballs that are going to be on it. But I will counter you with a fight that I think is even more popular. I think a fight that may even be being set up by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, but I don't know any of this. I just think instead of Tyson Fury going and getting the third fight with Oleksandr Usyk, barring a win from Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois on July 19th, why not do Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua? This fight makes all the sense in the world. Both of them have losses, 2 losses to Oleksandr Usyk. Both of them have faced points in their careers now where it's a bit of a turning point, right? If Tyson goes into the Usyk fight and loses a 3rd time, does his drawing power diminish? Anthony Joshua just lost to Daniel Dubois and took a long time off the sport. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua was the one fight that got away. It was the one fight we never got. For years and years we talked about this thing, and it just makes all the sense in the world to do it right now. And again, this is just conspiracy theory Wade here. You might as well put the tinfoil hat on me. But I feel like Turki Al-Sheikh is being a little too on the nose with saying we have a rabbit to hunt. Because again, think about it this way. Yes, he's talking about 2026, and that's far and away enough time for if Usyk does beat Dubois, which, you know, we'll see. Dubois is on a hot streak right now. Maybe he can switch things up. I don't think that was a low blow he hit him with in the first fight. Regardless, that would be far and away enough time, almost a year plus, to do the fight in Riyadh season. But what if that isn't the fight they're playing? What if they actually are trying to get Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury together? Because it makes all the sense in the world, and because neither of the guys have a fight lined up. I would argue that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua would do more in pay-per-view, more in revenue, more eyeballs, and in some ways be more important for both fighters right now than even Tyson Fury challenging for the heavyweight belt for the 3rd time. And you can give me the argument that Tyson Fury was close to winning the first fight and did well in the second fight as well, and I'm not going to disagree with you. It was a very close fight in the first, and in the first part of the second fight, the first half of the fight, I thought it was a close fight as well before Usyk, in both fights, put his foot on the pedal and eventually ran away with it, like a rabbit. And obviously, we can remember Tyson Fury did not think he lost the second fight.
Do you think I've got that truthfully?
I thought he was dead tight. I thought he was going to get it, if I'm honest.
I swear to God, I thought I won it by at least 3 rounds.
But
I bossed the fight in front foot all night. I worked.
That was him talking to his former trainer, Ben Davidson. I did not think Tyson Fury was as close in the second fight as he was in the first. Even after getting rocked in the first fight, I still thought he was closer in that one. So I guess in my mind, just my opinion, I don't know what would be different this time around. Tyson seems to think that he was robbed in the second fight and that if he did it in England, it would be different. I don't know if that's the case. And even if it is the case, Turki Al-Sheikh is saying that I have his word to have him in Riyadh season in 2026. Now, again, I could just be misreading that as a Riyadh season branded event taking place in England, but that seems to me like Turki Al-Sheikh wants to fight back in Saudi Arabia, so I don't know what would be different the third time around, other than the fact that Tyson may train a little differently and it may be tough to beat a guy 3 times. Point is, I don't know. Doesn't seem like the fight that makes the most sense. And Turki Al-Sheikh is known so far for making the fights we want to see within his power, right? He has made the Bivol Beterbiev 1 and 2. He has made Tyson Fury Usyk. He's made big fight after big fight. So I just don't know if this is a little bit of misdirection from Turki, or maybe it is just right on the nose. But regardless, I think the fight that I would want to see more, to be honest, is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. But again, you also have to give Tyson a reason to come out of retirement. Whether people want to see the third fight or not, Tyson surely wants to have a third shot at the belt, I would think. I think it probably means more to him than fighting Anthony Joshua for no belt. But this is what Tyson Fury had to say regarding his comeback and why he wants to come back to boxing.
I'm happy. I've won everything I've had to do. Listen, my last fight was a clear fucking victory for the Gypsy King.
Incorrect. I don't know where he comes up with this idea. Listen, you could say this is a close fight. You can say that Tyson Fury fought well up until the 5th round, maybe into the 6th and 7th, but as we got into the 7 through 12 rounds, this was completely one-sided to Oleksandr Usyk. And quite frankly, if you look back on the fight, and I know CompuBox doesn't tell the entirety of the story, but if you just look back at punches thrown versus punches landed in this fight, Fury threw more, landed less. Usyk threw less, landed more, and he threw less while landing more round by round. And you can see his punch stats be deadly accurate from rounds pretty much 6 on. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's throwing 50% damn near in 8 through 12. And it's not just jabs or light punches. Over half of his punches were power punches. Landed flush. So I don't see where Fury gets this idea that he clearly won the second fight. He was clearly, in my mind, outboxed in the second fight, more so than even in the first. You could have the argument for the first fight potentially going to Fury, and that would be more believable than him winning the second fight. So I don't know where he's deluded himself into thinking this was robbed from him, but point blank period, he lost the second fight.
Anyone in boxing can see that. A complete load of dog shit, yeah? Political, whatever you want to call it, and Usyk's very experienced.
By the way, we can't forget that in the ring, Tyson Fury said the reason, or at least paraphrased to say the reason that Usyk won the second fight was because there was a war going on in the Ukraine and they wanted to give him the win. That's the level of delusion we're talking about with Tyson Fury right now.
Again, he's coming off of two fights from me, which is debatable whether he won them or not, which he didn't win them, but he got a decision, which is all that matters. If I was going to come back, I'd come back for Usyk. But I want a fair result in England.
Would he be the only fighter that you'd come back for?
That would be the one I want immediately. That would be the most fight that I want next.
In England?
I only want a fucking fair fight. I don't want any favours. I want a fair fight and a fair result, which I believe and I know I didn't.
How did you score that second fight?
I fucking thought I won it by 5 rounds. I've watched it.
Tyson Fury thinks he won the second fight by 5 rounds? Which rounds? Genuinely, like, how do you even argue that he won it by 5 rounds? There's no logical argument for that. I mean, again, it's Tyson Fury. He's talking out of his ass. But the other thing, too, is, like, Turki Al-Sheikh is clearly saying he wants Tyson to go rabbit hunting. He is saying we are going rabbit hunting, as in Turki and Tyson. And let's not forget, Turki has been on the side of Tyson Fury when it comes to most of the fights. Like, he actively is like, Tyson is going to beat Francis Ngannou. I'm sorry. Tyson going to beat Usyk. I'm sorry. And Tyson sitting here talking about political this, political that. That has no effect on him winning or losing. Clearly. If Turki wanted him to beat Usyk and Usyk beat him twice, that has nothing to do with any political anything. I don't know what he's talking about there. But, yeah. He did not win the second fight at all, and let alone by 5 rounds.
Literally 250 times. And each way, I never...
250 times. He rewatched it 250 times. Bullshit.
ever see it as a way for him to win. But I know you can... They can do what they want. If they say it's fucking Tuesday, it's Tuesday. I don't make excuses. On with the next thing.
I don't make excuses. Except the reason that Usyk won is because there was a war going on in Ukraine. Never forget it. So anyway, here is more of Tyson talking about why he would want to fight Usyk right now.
Usyk, because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout. And I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do because I can't really go to the decision. But, so yeah, that's the one I want. But if I don't get that, then it'd be Joshua, the biggest British fight that'll ever happen. And it would break
Yes, it would.
goal records, and it would sell out 100,000 at
Yep.
Wembley in an hour.
Yep.
And it's a fight that I think can happen for sure if I decide to come back and the deal's right. If I did come back, hypothetically speaking, if
That's the one, man. That is the one. And he says the reason why that's the one. Obviously, personally to Tyson, it means more to grab the belt off Usyk. It means more to right the 2 losses, the only 2 losses of his career. It means more for that. And I get it. But 100,000 people, the fight, the fans, and especially the UK fans, because let's be honest right now, boxing is white hot in the UK. It is more popular. It is got bigger stars right now in the UK than the US for the most part. Outside of a couple names I could run through and you guys would argue in the comments. But the point is, he's right. They would sell out Wembley. This would be one of, if not the biggest fight in British boxing history. And it just makes all the sense in the world. Again, personally, I get it. For Tyson, it's a second option. But for the fans, for the sport, for the right matchups and where both guys are in their careers, this is the best matchup. This is the only matchup that makes sense for both guys right now, coming off the losses they've come off of. The guys that beat them fighting for the belt. And again, I know this is talking about a year from now, but still, for every reason he listed there, and he's right, this fight needs to happen. It would be more of a travesty to the sport if we don't get Tyson and AJ rather than us getting the trilogy between Tyson and Usyk. By far, point blank, period. And that should be the only reason. That's the only argument that I should have to make as to why that fight should happen. Because if we don't get it, it will be one of the greatest fights we never got. If we don't get Tyson Fury and Usyk for the 3rd time, does it really matter? And I think that's probably all I need to say about this. They're talking about Riyadh season 2026. It makes all the sense in the world to do it at Wembley if they could book it. 100,000 people would definitely sell out, whatever the number is at Wembley, 90,000. I've heard before 100,000. But this one's a grudge match. It doesn't even have to be for the best British boxer ever because that's not the case. I think that title goes to Lennox Lewis. But for the modern era, this is one of those fights that if we don't get, it will be a damn shame. And it won't have that punctuation mark on either guy's career that it really should have, right? Either guy retiring before we get that would be a disappointment, I think. And even to them, to some degree, right? They've all made millions of dollars. They all have all the money in the world, but if they still have that fire about fighting, you know that both of them, deep down inside, have always looked across the aisle and said, I could beat that guy. I'm really the face of British boxing. And now both guys have an opportunity to prove. I think Anthony Joshua has done a lot more to keep his fan base strong and come back from adversity over the years, whereas Tyson Fury has a strong fan base. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes the way he acts and kind of talks, he kind of fluctuates back and forth with them. Regardless, they both have massive fan bases. Both have carried British boxing at points in their career, and both have been the face of British boxing. So I think it's just now time to settle. And then Tyson Fury also says this.
if I was to return and I was to box Daniel Dubois, he wouldn't land the glove on me. It'd be a one-sided beatdown. But listen, I wish him luck in his fight against Usyk. But styles make fights, you know what I mean? And his style and my style don't gel. I would absolutely annihilate him.
I mean, that's great to say and all, but it's been a while since Tyson Fury had one of those you're not going to lay a glove on me performances. Guys that were both good technically and weren't good technically. Everybody laid a glove on him since the Deontay Wilder fight. Deontay knocked him down and he rose up like The Undertaker. Francis Ngannou, who had never had a boxing match before, hit him with a left hook and knocked him down. Usyk has touched him with the left hand and wobbled him, damn near sent him to the floor. I don't know if I believe anymore that Tyson Fury is as slick as potentially he was early in his career. That the guy that outboxed Vladimir Klitschko, I don't know if that guy is still in there. So I mean, again, that matchup, cool. But again, I'm just going to put it out there. I think it would mean more if Tyson beats Anthony Joshua and then, or Anthony Joshua beat Tyson. Regardless, the winner either fought Usyk if he beats Daniel Dubois, or in some fashion, there's some rematches that happen. Either way, it's a clear choice for me. Now, again, my opinion means nothing when it comes to what actually will happen. Am I glad that Tyson is talking about returning? Yeah, absolutely, because when he's in the sport, it's better than when he's not. I mean, that's just, it's another massive heavyweight name. Yes, it comes with some, all right, we're going to have to hear Tyson below W.A.D.E and sometimes downright lie about things that have happened to him and talk some absolute bollocks here and there, but eventually he will fight. And when he fights, he is entertaining to watch. He's one of the best fighters at heavyweight in the world. So yes, of course, the sport is better with him in it. I just think the best fight, I think the most satisfying, I think the one the sport needs the most, and the one that will live on through the history books, regardless of who wins or loses, is Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. That's the fight I think needs to happen. I hope that's the fight that does happen, and I'm not so sure that this tweet from Turki Al-Sheikh in the Ring magazine is not more window dressing. Maybe I'm wrong, but to be so blunt about having him just come back and fight Oleksandr Usyk, I think there may be a little bit more going on, especially hearing people like Eddie Hearn talking about how at all points Turki Al-Sheikh wants to make the biggest fights possible for the fans, for the sport. I think everybody in that circle knows, and really all over the world knows, that at heavyweight there's no bigger fight, even for a world title right now. I'm going to put my name on that one. I'm going to stamp that. I don't think there's a bigger fight at heavyweight, world title included or not, than Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. That's the fight that needs to be made. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Or if you agree, let me know. Regardless, what happens next for Tyson Fury? He's apparently out of retirement and back into boxing. I don't have those answers. I know what I want, but I don't have those answers. So, guess we'll find out.